Welcome to the Landmark Baseball Podcast. My name is Josh, coming to you from Michigan. Neil's out there. Where are you? In California. Shit.
California, yeah, some part.
We had a lot of baseball news this week. Over half a dozen significant signings and trades and things like that. But first off, Neil, how you doing?
I'm great. Today especially was a great day for the sport and for free agency. So yeah, can't wait to talk about that.
All right, which one do you want to start with? We got about like eight different things that we could
I mean,
talk.
let's just start with the hot topics today. Let's just get right into it. I feel like Kluber to the Yankees. Why not? I mean, actually, Yankees got two big splashes today. We were talking about earlier. DJ, again, who's returning, and Kluber, who will bolster that rotation. I mean, right now,
Maybe.
yeah. So it's looking like Davy Garcia, who we both said we liked. He's a solid young dude going into the season. Garrett Cole, he's Garrett Cole, and then Domingo Herman. He was pretty good for them before he had that suspension. So, Yankees pitching. Who knows? They might get it done. Severino. He might. Hopefully, he can return to somewhat of what he was, because in his peak he was looking like the best guy in the game. But yeah, great day. What do you think this puts the Yankees now?
I think outside of Cole, the rest of their rotation's a coin flip. I mean, Jordan,
Yeah,
he was good for like 1 year. Had TJ, kind of hasn't shown what he was before that. Herman and Severino are kind of hit or miss also. And then Kluber, we haven't seen him do it since like 2018 for a significant amount of innings. I don't like the deal. 1 year for $10 million. Yankees really only have like $7 million. There's been varying reports on that, but they only have about $7 million left to play with this free agency before they hit the luxury threshold. And I don't know. I don't know if I like this signing for them. I think Kluber, as someone who hasn't really shown it the last couple of years, getting $10 million in a season in an off season like this. I mean, I think that contract was worth like $6 million. Maybe the Yankees just wanted to stand out and make sure they got their guy.
and if I'm not mistaken, he's been injured, quite a bit as well, and that's kind of a theme the Yankees already have. So I don't know why, they added. I mean, LeMahieu, he's gonna play every day, but yeah, I mean, Yankees. I don't know. They don't kind of their bullpen or their rotation right now very right-handed dominant, just like the rest of the team in their lineup. And their only left-handed starter it looks like at the moment is Jordan Montgomery. And I mean,
Yep.
he's another coin flip guy, but I'd say his ceiling is definitely lower than Severino, Herman, Garcia. I mean, who knows?
Montgomery would be like the dream number 4 starter for them if he's
Yeah.
really
So
good for himself.
I
But
mean,
Kluber threw at a workout on like Monday or Tuesday. He threw like 30 pitches, which I really thought they'd throw more than that at these kind of things. But 25 teams showed up. He reportedly looked really good, like his normal self. So we'll see what happens with that.
and yeah, we don't want to hate on the Yankees, but the way we think right now
I
is, I
do.
mean, yeah, you do. I mean, I appreciate. I mean, I'm not saying you don't, but I like every team, almost. And I feel like though at this point, the Yankees and their fan base, they're can we win a championship this year? And like, I can't see this team getting it done. The NL does seem to be more scary. They probably don't have to worry about the Rays, because the Rays, are waiting for some prospects to come up. I mean, they are gonna have some come up this year, but I mean, this
So a
team
healthy
is not
Yankees
looking
team,
like.
I think, takes the AL just barely over the White Sox. I think the White Sox are the team to beat as of right now. But I don't think there's any way they take down the Dodgers or maybe even the Padres, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if it comes to that point, I mean, some other teams might surprise us in the AL. I mean, you never know what could happen also. But yeah, I mean,
Twins need to
Yankees.
do something. Angels need to do something. Oakland hasn't done anything. Toronto hasn't done anything. I think Houston's going to make a move for. Well, I thought Kluber would be a great spot or a great player to go to Houston, but that didn't happen. But I
Mhm.
think Houston's going to make a couple starting rotation moves before we're done here. But yeah, White Sox are the team to beat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's a good team to beat, honestly. I mean, you look at their rotation as well, and I mean just their whole lineup, very complete offense, very, very good. And I mean, they're definitely. Oh yeah, and they also just bolster that rotation. They probably got. I mean, it's all speculation. I guess we could say Liam Hendricks, who they recently signed, was the best reliever available. I mean, some other guys. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Yates is available. I want to say Brad Hand is available.
Yep.
Um, so they you could say they gave him too much, but I mean Liam Hendricks, we've seen what he's done the last year and a half, I'd say, and he's looked really good. And I mean it's gonna be a really nice signing for them, I feel like.
So the Hendricks deal is a 3-year deal. He's guaranteed $54 million. That's a 18 million a year average. But in his final year, the White Sox can buy him out for that 18 mil, or they can let him walk. I mean, they keep him. It just depends what they want to do. Maybe in 3 years he's not looking so good, so they just get him off the payroll. They can do it slowly too. Like over the next 3 years, they can put a third of the money in every year. That would be a good idea for them if he's starting to kind of lose it. But I think this is a good deal for the White Sox. Kind of sets the market for the rest of the relievers going forward. But yeah, like you said, best reliever available. Certainly something they needed. The White Sox bullpen was their weak point, and I think they did a pretty good job remedying that.
Um, yeah, they still got some work to do. It looks like. I mean, but yeah, it's definitely a great start to begin with. Definitely can't go wrong when you spend. I mean, well, I don't want to say can't go wrong, but if you look at his numbers, they've been, outstanding. Like I said, like I want to say the last 2 years. There were some times, in his career where he got DFA'd actually a couple times, but I mean, yeah, he's definitely bounced back. And yeah, great deal for the White Sox. Um, who else? Another reliever, Pedro Baez of the Dodgers signed
We
with the
got to go into the DJ
Astros.
deal, I
Oh,
think,
you want to
before
go? Oh yeah, we skipped
we got to
over
go into the
that.
DJ
Okay,
deal
yeah.
before we get too far away from it.
Okay.
6 years, $1 million. He takes an early pay cut. He's going to get 15 million in 2021, which DJ is worth a lot more than 15 million for a year. I think that's pretty unanimous. But at the end of his contract, he's going to be getting more than that. It's just going to build. It's just so the Yankees could avoid the luxury tax and have money to do more signings this year. But I still don't think it puts them over the top. But DJ was their best player last couple seasons. He'll continue to do that for at least a couple more. If Aaron Judge stays healthy, that's a pretty dynamic duo at the top of your team.
That is yeah, and then Stanton. I mean, if what's their center fielder's name? Aaron Hextrom's back. Labor Torres. Yeah, we've seen the Yankees lineup. They're known for having
Luke
one of the best
Voigt.
offenses. Yeah, and I'd say I mean Gary Sanchez, the guy most Yankees fans they're not too happy with. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he turns things around. But just a quick thing on that. I mean, Garrett Cole, their best pitcher, has made it clear he's only had a Higashioka, as his catcher. So kind of says a lot about Gary Sanchez, I feel like, at this point, and how the viewpoint of the franchise has changed on him. But yeah, like we said earlier, LeMahieu is a guy. Well, I don't think we said that earlier. We said that prior to talking or recording. Maybe was a guy, they had to get back. And if, it feels exciting, like, for Yankees fans because they're not losing him, but at the same time, like, they had to, keep him, like, if they wanted to at least maintain, the same level, because if they lose him, that is a huge, huge, huge hole that they, like, yeah, there's no replacing a guy like that.
I
Yeah,
think it's dumb that it took this long to re-sign him. Like we all knew that LeMahieu was coming back to New York, and
right.
3 months to get it done. And I don't know. That's not good. It's not good for baseball. It kind of stalled the Yankees offseason a little bit because I think this had to happen before they made any other moves, such as Kluber. Like less than 24 hours after LeMahieu, they got Kluber. But it's been a slow
Right.
season. I just think it's probably a bad look that they left their star player on the market for 3 months, and they're kind of undercutting him, in my opinion. But
Yeah, no, you could say that. You could say he's worth at least 20 million a year, if not more. I mean, we've seen, players you could say, they are younger, but they are not doing what he was doing, make, 30 million a year. But I mean, they still got it done. And I just, to be fair to the Yankees, it has been a slow market. I mean, we're looking at this list. There's so many, great guys still available. And I don't know if everything going on with the Mets kind of forced the Yankees' hand a little bit, or made them a little trigger happy. I mean, I doubt that. They're still going to be smart with their transactions, but yeah, they got it done today. And it looks like they will not be in the Trevor Bauer conversation. I don't know if that was ever a thing. And then it definitely looks like they won't be re-signing. I want to say Tanaka, because Paxton might get 1 year, X amount, just because he's had some, injury histories too, and maybe Yankees could work that out. But Tanaka, I feel like, is gonna get 3 years, 4 years, however many with another team at this point. So I mean, oh
I think
well though.
If Tanaka doesn't come back to New York, he may go back to Japan. If the Yankees truly only have $7 million to work with, that's not enough to sign Tanaka. Might be enough to get Paxton, but
Right, yeah.
Tanaka might just go back to Japan, and that's kind of sad. We can't keep international stars in the league, but
I mean, who knows? Maybe someone will throw like more money at him, but
Angels, that's your chance.
Angels, yeah.
God, they haven't done anything.
Is my
Well, that's not entirely true. They signed Kurt Suzuki to a 1 year, 1.5
yeah.
deal today.
Is my web is like
Is your what?
is my webcam frozen for?
It is, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like that's not good. It's just my computer is like lagging. I don't think it can handle the recording. But
I can hear you fine, so I mean, we can just keep going.
okay,
I'll cut out the
ho-
but
yeah, you can cut this out, but hold on. Let me see what I can do. I can probably turn it off and turn it back on. Oh no, what is going on? Yeah, well, this sucks. If I end the recording, can you put two recordings together, or is that like
I
hard?
can, yeah.
Okay, hold
No.
on. I can't even end it. So yeah, I might. No, why is this happening? I'm sorry. I feel stupid, stupid computer. All right, I don't know if we like. I mean, I guess we could just continue on, and my thing will be frozen, but because I can still hear you. But yeah, I just can't do anything with Zoom. Like I can't end the recording. I can't mute myself. I can't. It's just yeah.
We can end this call and see if that fixes it. If you want to do that, just accept like the same, or you just leave the call and come back because the invite's
I need
still
to
the
stop
same
the
that way.
recording though. That's the thing, or else we're gonna lose what we just talked about. I
Oh
mean,
right, okay.
it's just like it just says buffering. Yeah, it says Zoom meeting not responding. That's really annoying. Close my Google Docs. Yeah, I just like saw my face was frozen and I was like, uh-oh.
Get them tabs closed,
I
boy.
can like just, close Zoom through my PC, but then I feel like we're gonna lose the recording. I don't wanna like I mean, we could talk about everything, but like it's not gonna be the same. Be like trying to
To
remember
be fair, we're
stuff.
only 10 minutes in, but
Yeah.
it's okay. We can hear you fine.
Alright. I just hope it fixes itself at one point though, because if like I can't stop it in an hour in, then yeah. But
Go
alright.
through.
Alright. I just
Uh, you started on the Baez signing. I think we're done on the Yankees, but I'll let you take the Baez signing.
okay. I'm gonna pull up my Google Docs thing again and we'll just start talking. I'll be like, and we're back. Alright, so alright. Alright, we are back. Sorry about that. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties, but yeah, so I was talking about Pedro Baez signing with the Astros earlier, and I'm glad he's not on the Dodgers anymore, because that was a threat. But Astros, that's a great signing for them. Definitely, bolsters, their pitching a lot. He's very underrated. I mean, Dodgers used him as a reliever, majority, and I'm sure, Astros will get, great use out of him. So, that's kind of an underrated deal going into the
Yeah, he's
offseason.
had roughly a 3 ERA in like every season he's been a pitcher. And this is a 2-year deal for 12 million. Astros kind of needed the bullpen help, but the good thing about Baez is he's a reverse splits guy. That changeup he has uh, works better on lefty hitters than it does the righties. So that's kind of a nice weapon. Saves you a left-handed bullpen arm, which the Astros don't have a lot of.
That is true. Yeah, I did not realize that. Something I don't really look into is the reverse split stats, but I definitely should. But
I just
yeah.
saw a tweet about it, so I was like, good job. Stand out a little.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, definitely underrated signing. Um, who knows? Astros. I mean, they're gonna lose Springer. That's for sure. They've kind of. Well, they haven't,
Yeah,
made
I
it
think we're
clear, but they've
beyond
made
that
it
point.
clear. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone, talk about the Astros and, Springer at all. So, yeah, that's gonna
Like the
be.
Astros will get thrown in that.
All right, we are back again. Technical difficulties on my end. But we just talked about Pedro Baez. And so what do you want to talk about next, Josh?
I was just gonna rapid fire the rest of the signings. They're a little less significant, but so we mentioned Kurt Suzuki to the Angels for 1 year, 1.5 mil. They kind of needed a catcher. I think their other catcher was Jason Castro, he's got some good defensive numbers, but on
They
off
traded him to the Padres, I think.
they traded him. Okay.
Well, yeah, last season he was like traded to the Padres, yeah, so I don't really
Oh
know who
right.
else they
So
have.
they got nothing. Kurt Suzuki, he's
Yeah.
38 years old. He's been a solid catcher still. I mean, he's not necessarily like in the plus column as a catcher anymore. Uh, anything else on that really? It's kind of a.
uh, no, yeah, not,
These are from the last week since we didn't really get a chance to do them on the last episode. But Robbie Grossman to Detroit, 2 years, $10 million. I really like this signing because so you saw the David Dahl stuff, right? Dahl to
Yeah. I thought that was a
this is
great.
like this is like part two, kind of. I made a video on Delta Detroit. Check it out. So I think Grossman is like something of an improvement over Dahl in certain aspects. Like he's been around longer. He strikes out a lot less than Dahl. He works at bats. He gives you a quality at bat every time he comes up to the plate. And I think he's going to be able to teach these younger guys because the Tigers don't really have good hitting coming up, like out of the younger guys. Like Torkelson's it, and then it's just like a bunch of average projected hitters. But I think Grossman will be able to show these guys how to have like a major league at bat and just overall just bolster the offense. He's still a good player. He's like 34, I think, but he's been all over the place, a bunch of different teams. He's definitely seen a lot of the league. He'll definitely be a good fit for Detroit. That outfield, weak outfield, very weak outfield.
Random a tangent, but do you see the Tigers like spending a lot again? Like I knew like in historically or not historically, but in the past they definitely did spend a lot at one point. Do you see them getting to that point in the near future? Spending more.
Um,
I know
they
it's
have a
hard
lot
right
of
now,
homegrown
but
talent. They're gonna need to sign like I think next year. There's a good chance they're in the running for one of those big shortstop names, but
that'd be
Dombrowski.
really cool.
Yeah, Dombrowski was a big reason they were spenders over that last 20 years. Dombrowski just loves the spend. Speaking of which, he offered Real Muto a 5 year, $100 million contract with money they probably don't have. But I think the Tigers will be as aggressive in the future. Al Avila just doesn't sign free agents really for big money. They have a lot of homegrown talent though, so I think all they really need to do is bolster the bullpen and the offense a little bit. Depends. We'll see how when we get there, but the starting rotation's solid once again for the Tigers. It will,
Right, right.
not right now. Anything else on the Grossman deal?
Not much. I'm happy to see Tigers, taking small W's, here and there. Good to see.
Yeah, and for $5 million a year, that's a pretty good contract for him.
Yeah.
Jose Martinez to the Mets, 1 year, $5 million. He's probably a DH. I don't know.
Which they already had like Dominic Smith and you know
Yeah,
Pete
he's a tough
Alonso.
fit unless they have a DH. Like if they don't have a DH in the
He,
NL,
he's
Jose
just a pinch
Martinez
hitter.
probably gets traded or dropped or something. I don't know why guys like Martinez and Schwarber signed with NL teams. They must be expecting a DH in the NL. Don't know.
Right, because those
Martinez
are
is really
expensive
good.
pinch hitters.
Yeah, really good splits against lefties. Against righties, he's pretty weak. But I mean, he has like a 900 lifetime OPS off of lefties. So I mean, the Mets lineup is kind of balanced well enough. But he would be a good pinch hitter. Little expensive, like you said. But if they have a DH, this is a good fit for them. I think
I
a
can
good
see it. Yeah.
Archie Bradley to Philadelphia for 1 year, $6 million. Awful bullpen.
Yeah, awful. They
Worst
need to
bullpen in
sign.
baseball.
They need to sign another guy. They need to get a Yates or Hand, whoever else is available. Trade for someone, because yeah, if that team, that bullpen is it's a no-no.
They traded for Diego Alvarado from the Rays a couple weeks ago. That's a good spot for him to go, I guess. But like you said, they need a lot more pieces. They have no
Yeah,
true closer. They're just probably going to hand Bradley the seventh, eighth, and ninth.
because even Bradley's a question mark. He just I don't know what to say. I mean, I've seen him a lot with the Diamondbacks, and that fastball it gets stoned way too much. I feel like, but yeah,
When he's right, he's right. But when he's not, I mean, he's just the same as the rest of that bullpen. He's just got a little bit more stamina than those other guys. But I think
right.
Mill is probably ready
He's
for him.
not the lockdown guy that you want. But then again, like we said, there's some there's some like guys like that available. So who knows, Phillies, still some
My
hope.
thinking with Bradley is instead of him being like a long reliever or even a starter in the past, maybe he could just be one of those 1 inning lockdown guys, which we've seen a lot of aging starting pitchers kind of fill the role of. So maybe for 1 inning, he can just go in there, pump like 97 and 3 quick outs.
Yeah,
Phillies do with him. Uh, Alex Wood to the Giants. Good Dodgers reliever. Not great, but
right.
cool.
And I think
Still don't know what the Giants are doing.
he was like a minor league deal too, right?
I don't think this one was. No, it's 1 year, 3 mil. I think that's
Oh, okay, yeah. So
definitely
yeah,
a roster spot.
yeah. So I mean, hey though, he might give them
He
something
did
out
just
of
become one of their better relievers. I still don't know what the Giants are doing though. They've signed a few different names this offseason, and they're like winning moves. They're aggressive moves. They're not like they're trading for younger guys. They're signing these veterans, and maybe they do something this year.
right.
I would love to see that. I know we're kind of sick of the Giants winning, but this is a totally different regime, different coach, different GM working. Just they've had a whole reset and they've somehow managed to kind of make something out of it again.
Yeah, and they do have some position players. They're really their top five best prospects. The top four of them are they got Joey Bart, who's the number 11 catcher, or no, he's the number 11 prospect on the top 100. He's a catcher. Marco Luciano, who's a shorts.
Luciano's insane.
Yeah.
Did you see his winter ball home run?
No, I haven't. I've only seen like the Tatis and Jerry Sanchez highlights, but
There was a video of him hitting off of like a Rockies top prospect, and he's a shortstop. He's kind of a skinnier guy, but he hit a baseball 114 miles an hour straight to
ooh.
complete bomb. Only a couple guys have done that since the Statcast era began. It was like
Yeah, that's like
Gary Sanchez, Stanton, and like one more. And I mean, think of those guys, how like built those guys are. The
yeah,
position,
some serious power.
and then you're looking at a shortstop who's like 19 years old hitting this.
Right.
That's
Uh,
yeah, he's insane. Invest in that rookie card. And then I think that's all we got for the. Oh no, Schwarber signed with the Nationals for 10 million, 1 year deal.
right, along with Josh Bell getting traded there, so some
Nationals
pretty
making moves. They had a good
yeah,
week.
under
I
the
like
radar
both of
moves.
these. They didn't really have a first baseman. They lost Eric Thames to free agency. He was only on a 1 year deal. He didn't really do that much for him.
Right.
Josh Bell had a great 2019, at least the first half of 2019. He ended with like a 900 OPS, but he's only really good from the left side. From the right,
Right.
Didn't really hit that well.
But that's fine. I mean, most pitchers are
Yeah,
right-handed, and they switch hitting that is valuable. And yeah, they did lose obviously lost Rendon, 2 years ago. Now they lost Eaton, so they got a solid lefty in Schwarber. If he's DH, that's ideal. And then yeah, Bell's like you said, Bell 2019, he started the year out on fire, and then yeah, definitely fell off, but still going to be their everyday first baseman. Great sign or great trade, I feel like.
yeah. They traded
Definitely.
with the Pirates. They sent Will Crow and Eddie Yeen to the Pirates. Will Crow came up for them last year a little bit. He was a end of the rotation guy. Didn't really do that well. He didn't have that many innings, but he should be a decent back of the rotation guy for the Pirates. Not going to be blowing up any numbers or anything like that. But Eddie Yeen is the centerpiece of this for the Pirates. He's a teen starting pitcher, high upside, kind of a lottery ticket. We don't know that much about him. But what I like most about these two signings with Bell and Schwarber is that it gives Soto more protection because you
Right.
can't just groove a fastball down the middle and expect it to miss a Schwarber bat or a Bell bat, especially from like a righty. And just giving Soto those extra couple good pitches is going to really help him out, I think.
Oh yeah, you wanna talk about Soto a little bit, since clearly you you think he has a high ceiling, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, today I got another Soto card in. I got a Topps Chrome rookie debut Soto card. I didn't even know it was Chrome till it got here. I guess I didn't look that closely at it. It's like $15, and then I bought a PSA 10 2018 update Soto card uh, for about $300. But I think that's a good investment. People have been buying Acuna up. Soto's price is going up, so might as well ride the train before it gets
I
too
saw a
expensive.
post today on MLB. Who are you taking for the future? It was like Soto, Tatis, or
Hmm.
Acuna. And so yeah, who's the most expensive card out of those? So rookie card PSA 10.
Right
Who
now, Tatis.
I was gonna say, because Tatis, he's super hyped up right now. And Soto, though, I feel like his offensive ceiling is better than those two, but defensively, like Tatis might be the complete package. Acuna, blazingly fast, can play center field. But yeah, definitely, not a bad investment at all. Soto, he's already led that team to a World Series. He yeah, can't say enough good things about Juan Soto.
I think
He's gonna have to carry
Tatis
their
is
offense.
the most overrated young guy in baseball.
Really?
He plays good, but he's only played in like 100 games, and
Yeah, he hasn't played a whole season
we're
yet.
comparing him to like some of the greatest shortstops of all time, and it's like, what are we doing? I mean, he's 22.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a full season. I mean, he had a terrible second half of 2020. His stats just look good because of how crazy the
Yeah, the
first.
last month he like just fell off, and like yeah, that average. Yeah, trust me, I watched a lot of those Padres games. He definitely fell off. But yeah, I kind of get all the hype. He checks like every box.
He's exciting. He's like
Yeah.
a less, I don't know, more volatile Lindor maybe. Like when Lindor first came up, everyone was going crazy about him. He was like the face. People were like, "Oh, he's the face of what baseball should look like." He
Right.
smiles. He's got the great charisma and everything. Tatis is exciting and he's really smart. He's a great baseball mind, but I just need to see more of him. We've seen more
Yeah,
from.
we'll see. Yeah, that's why even as a Padres fan, like I think they said this on the last one. But yeah, I'm kind of worried. They Machado, another guy. He had an amazing 2020. Every 60, every game out of the 60 he played amazing. But then it is only 60 games. So yeah, we're going on a little bit of a tangent now because the I asked you about Juan Soto. So yeah, great investment for you. But yeah,
Oh,
what else?
it's my first graded card.
Yeah, I need a. I don't know. Maybe I should get a Tatis. Just because I am like a Padres fan. I did a fun fact. I did go to his first game, and I did see his first hit, so that was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. Opening day. Was it 2019? So yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then off a Hall of Famer. Mad bum. So yeah, can't complain. But yeah. Yeah, let's see what else we gotta talk about. We talked about Hendricks. We talked about Baez.
We've hit
Um,
all the trades and signings. Rest
right.
Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda. Yeah, he was a two-time World Series champion. 81 and 88, two-time manager of the year, 83, 88. So yeah,
He's been with
RIP.
the Dodgers as a player, manager, front office guy, whatever, just with the Dodgers organization for 72 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Insane.
Yeah, I uh I remember I think the first time I learned about him was I was watching like him chase around the Philly Fanatic. And the Philly Fanatic's like the best mascot in sports. But yeah,
He's an asshole.
that was like a great moment. Yeah,
And I think
rest in
we're a little
peace.
young to be like talking too much about Lasorda.
Yeah, we're
We were
just
like focused on baseball. Lasorda wasn't really like on the field every day, but
right. I
just
yeah,
know pictures
I
of him, the
definitely
way
wasn't.
people talk about him.
I definitely wasn't watching when he was, managing the Dodgers. No doubt. Probably wasn't even born then. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Just when you hear like, the amount of respect people have, it says a lot. You
One
don't
of
have
the
to
most
know the person.
well-known baseball faces in the last 50 years, easily. But they say he was just at like everything, uh, like high school games in California. He just randomly show up and just start telling stories to people in the crowd and stuff like that. Like if you were a California baseball player, you saw Tommy Lasorda in some way, shape, or form. And that's it's pretty awesome. Not a lot of guys get around that much, especially caring about stuff like high school baseball at such
Right.
older age. We got the season starting on time. That was announced by Manfred the other day. I don't really care. That should have happened anyway. I don't. I think they're trying to like make us feel like grateful for news and that the MLB is so forgiving because they're letting us have a season on time. But like,
Right.
there was no reason for the season to not start on time.
Right. Vaccine. By
Fans
the
and the
time you
vaccine, but
yeah, if by the time you get distribution across the U.S. I mean, I'm no expert, but I've seen on the news that might not be for months. And we definitely can't wait. Till winter.
the only point that they had to make was like, oh, we can't get fans in yet, but it's like, okay, but we can still play because you did it a couple months ago, like relatively easily. Some
You
of the
know,
details came out about this season today. They're going to keep the 7 inning doubleheaders and they're going to keep runners on second and extras,
hey,
which
I like that.
I hate runners on second and extras.
I like it. I think like I don't know, it just makes the game more interesting. And like, how do you feel about the universal DH? Are you a fan of that?
I'd say let it. It's
Yeah, at this point, like, yeah, pitchers, getting hits is great and all, and it's really cool when a pitcher is like shutting out the other team, and then he has the only RBI, like that's kind of cool. But yeah,
nine
just
times out of 10, that's not the case. And it's
yeah,
like
that never
managers will take
happens.
their starter out who's 6 innings and no earned runs given
Right.
up, and they're just going to take him out because there's his
It
spot's
just
coming up.
puts the game in such a dull spot. Like, I mean, like I said, I've watched like a lot of Padres games the last couple of years, 2019, so many times. Both teams, they just, they'd have runners on and then, oh, pitchers at bat. It's like, okay, like really, but yeah,
Kind of a boomer when it comes to like changing rules in the league sometimes, but this is one I think has been a long time coming. All the players really want it, except for pitchers, I guess, but everyone else wants it. It just kind of makes sense to have the same rules apply to both leagues. I think MLB is the only sport that kind of has different rules based on the side of the league you're
which
on.
is, it's kind of cool, it gives baseball this, unique aspect. But at this point,
If
they
you asked
kind
me a
of,
year ago, I would have probably said no, keep the pitchers hitting. But after we saw it play out and the way teams are being built, I think it's probably time.
yeah, and it is better for the players too because not everyone can play a position, but there are some great hitters out there that we want to see. So
Guys like Schwarber and Jose Martinez have 15 more options for teams to sign because there's going to
right,
be
or
in the National
is
League.
Ozuna on the market too?
He's still available, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's Brantley, another guy. Nelson Cruz definitely.
We should see him get re-signed to the Twins probably within the next couple days. Don't quote me, obviously.
Yeah,
That,
yeah. You want to
what
do
did
some
you think about the playoffs, expanded playoff format?
Is it the like how they did it last year?
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of liked it. It was kind of cool seeing teams you normally wouldn't see. And I wouldn't say like if anything, baseball, like there's see I'm talking about for the perspective of other sports, right? Like baseball is one of those sports where there's teams that make the playoffs or there's teams that miss the playoffs that they could have made it and they would have been a fun watch, versus like basketball, you can't say that's the case. Basketball, if anything, there's teams that made it that shouldn't be. And it was kind of cool to see extended, let's see who wouldn't have made it last year if
Brewers, one of the Central teams, Indians. Twins might not have made it either. I'm obviously not looking at anything. I'm just saying.
right.
I don't know if the Astros would have made it. I think they were the 7th seed. Blue Jays wouldn't have made it in the AL.
Right, and the Astros beat the
Astros made it to the ALCS
yeah,
almost.
they beat the A's, who are really good. But
Well, I can't believe they let Simeon walk, and Simeon's still available. He had
oh
MVP
yeah,
2019. They could have got him for cheap because he had a bad 2020, but he's still out there, and the A's let him walk. I think that's sad for the A's because they had a really good infield. Olson, Chapman, Simeon.
right. But Simeon, yeah, he wasn't delivering consistently, I'd say, and he's probably
He had
gonna
like a
get more
9
money.
WAR. 2019, he had like a 9 WAR.
Oh yeah, he was really good. Yeah, like
But yeah, it's
2019.
like too little, too late kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
the bag.
and yeah, A's, they're not gonna pay him. So I hate to say it, but
No.
that's how they operate. And who knows, one day Matt Chapman. I mean, I don't know. Is Matt Chapman a 300 mil type guy? Because if Manny Machado
No.
is, but
Chapman doesn't hit quite elite enough to get that. His glove is better
yeah,
than Machado's, but I think Chapman's just he's not the kind of guy that's going to demand those kind of numbers. The way
right.
he hits consistently, he still strikes out a lot. He doesn't have the power to kind of sway the deals like Machado has.
Mm. I mean,
He's, he probably
2019
won't get extended that much.
hit an 848 OPS, which yeah. So I mean that's still really good. Obviously, anything over 800 or 100 OPS plus, which was 127 in 2019. Yeah,
Chapman's
pretty
really
solid.
young. He's only been around for like 3 seasons.
Right. So
Chapman, but yeah, he's still really young. We haven't really seen that much of him.
baseball. It'd just be so much more interesting if the A's were like in the conversation for a guy like JT Realmuto or George Springer or something like that. But this is not the case. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know where those guys are gonna end up. You said Phillies are trying to work things out with Realmuto, and rightfully so.
yeah, they offered him 5 years, $100 million. That's 20 million a year.
That's
He's
pretty good.
probably worth more than that in a normal market, but
Sheesh.
he's just the best catcher in baseball. Like we have no idea what that's really worth right now.
I heard he wants to beat Joe Mauer's contract. So that's not happening, it looks like. Because Joe Mauer signed an 8-year, 184, yeah, AAV 23 million a
Yeah, we're
year.
probably not getting
I
there.
don't I don't think Real Muto's getting that. Yeah, Real Muto, like yeah, you are the best
Not this
catcher in
year.
the game, but
Maybe in a
yeah.
normal year, but teams claim they don't have enough money to make those kind of things happen this year. I mean, if LeMahieu's only getting 15 million, I don't really see Real Muto getting too much more than that.
Right.
We still got a lot of free agents left to sign. A lot of guys that would warrant full episodes of their own. Bauer, Springer, Real Muto, Brantley, Paxton, Tanaka, Taiwan Walker, Kirby Yates, Colton Wong, Nelson Cruz, Eddie Rosario, Jake Odorizzi. Just tons of guys that
So many.
are actually like impact players, and we're only a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training.
Right, but I feel like when it rains it pours. We've seen
Oh yeah,
just so many, just in these last couple of days, and then when these big guys, it's typically how it goes. Like I remember when Manny Machado and Bryce Harper were signing their big deals, like it was just a
worst
whole
off
bunch of
season.
yeah, it was just a bunch of waiting, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, Machado like 300 million, and then Harper's like, all right, like I'm gonna get more, and then he's like, oh yeah, 330 million. So
Weren't we in like late February when those deals went through?
yeah, something like that. They
A
were
couple weeks
not.
until games started.
Yeah, definitely pretty far, but I mean, who knows? We might get, something similar. It might not. I mean, obviously, sooner the better. But oh well, I guess, Trevor Bauer gets to make more YouTube videos. But yeah.
Still so sick of him and his agent doing their social media thing.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, but he's just, yeah, he's
Yeah,
definitely, it's not like he's yeah, I mean, obviously I don't know him, but it's
maybe
not.
it's just the whole gimmick of it all. Like he's gonna be annoying with
Right,
it.
his intentions, it doesn't
That's
seem
it.
like annoying though. His intentions seem pure, he's just like going about things differently and he's trying to give the fans a different, perspective, I guess. But
Never seen it before.
yeah, you've never seen it before, yeah. Stuff like this, when it's like a business and it's like millions of dollars and he's just like, FaceTiming fans. He's like, yeah, so why should I sign up with the Angels? Like, I mean, it's definitely interesting though, to say the least. But yeah,
I think Bauer signs. He's probably gonna be the latest signing of the whole lot. He's gonna sign like a week before spring training games start.
who do you think the Blue Jays get? Blue Jays, we talked about this last time. They've
They
they've
might
been in the
re-sign
talks.
Walker. They're gonna get one or two of the bigger starter names. They're not gonna get Bauer. I don't think. He probably goes to the Mets. I don't know. That's a tough one. We haven't really gotten much new on that yet.
Hmm.
They get like a Paxton or a Walker guy. They had Walker half of last year after the trade deadline, but they probably get like a guy like Walker or Paxton, maybe Odorizzi
Yeah,
to put them over the top, but they're coming.
it's definitely an interesting offseason because I'm just trying to put all these guys with teams, but money is just so tight right now, and it's so hard, for me to
And
say
it's the
like,
same four teams in every single like hot stove rumor.
right. It's
It's
like,
Yankees, it's Blue Jays, and it's Nationals. I'm not really putting stock in it till I have like these teams are in serious trade talks or signing talks with whoever. But so MLB released a 10-year projection of World Series from 2021 to 2030 this week on Instagram, and we can go through it real quick, just just so people can maybe who haven't seen it yet. In 2021, it's Dodgers over Yankees, and then they have Dodgers over Angels, White Sox over Padres. That's going to be a good one. Padres over Red Sox, Braves over Jays, Mets over Yankees, Orioles, let's go, over the Giants,
Stro.
Dodgers over Tigers, Athletics over Giants, Yankees over Cardinals at 2030. So, what of this is the most interesting to you? Like, obviously, don't put stock into these because they're just projections. They don't
This
really
is just
matter.
complete BS. Yeah, like I mean, not
Yeah.
complete, but um, I pulled up a different list. I don't.
I
I
went on MLB's Instagram. It was one of their more recent posts. There's a couple different ones that circulated. This is just the one I saw. But I think it's really a miss that the Padres and Mets, two of the more exciting teams in baseball, only show up in three World Series over the next 10 years. I mean, the
which
Mets
is
are expected to be like what doing what the Dodgers are doing right now. And the Padres,
right.
one of the most exciting young teams in baseball. And you're telling me they only show up in 2 years out of this whole decade?
The Padres, though, I'm not trying to be biased, but I kind of get it over the Mets just because I feel like they're young pitching. They still have Gore. Their farm system is still, way better than the Mets to go along with, the
Mm.
roster being. But yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is just really random. Like, how are they just gonna throw the Orioles and Giants in there? Like, you have no
Oh,
idea where
we're
those
coming.
teams are gonna
Orioles are
be.
coming. Don't
Yeah,
you
you
worry.
just say they're
They're
coming.
coming.
You got Rutch and Giants. We already talked about their prospects. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely hard to just base it off that. But yeah, I'm still
I think by 2025, where they have the Braves winning over the Jays, I think the Braves window's done by then. They're not going to be that competitive in 5 years. Braves are hardly competitive probably 2 years from now.
right, and they're gonna. I think Freddie Freeman's a free agent next year.
They'll
So that,
re-sign him. Freddie's going to be a lifer in Atlanta, but I mean, by 2025, what's a probably a 37-year-old Freddie Freeman
but I
do?
mean, who knows though? Who know? Like, if he has another one of his seasons, he might get some serious money. And I mean, who knows if they want to match that? Who he might be. He might want to be. One of those guys. Who just says, I don't care. He'll take less. But I could see some teams throwing some hard hard to say no to money at him that the Braves, Braves wouldn't be willing to match. But yeah, I got the list in front of me. Yeah, the biggest thing for me, I mean, we talked about this, a little bit off stream, but they have the Dodgers winning essentially three in a row in 20. They already won it in 2020. You're telling me they're gonna win it in 2021 and 2022. That I mean, we
A
we
team
both.
hasn't repeated a World Series this entire century. So
Right, like we both, will tell you about how great the Dodgers are. We'll sit here and tell you all day about, how we'll rave about them. I could say so many great things about their young pitching and their young position players. But yeah, I mean, three in a row, that's kind of amazing. And then not to mention in 2022, it's over the Angels. I mean, guys, like what are the Angels like? What are they making the World Series? Let's be realistic
if they
now.
get pitching, we'll see. And
Oh,
if
yeah,
Otani
we'll
is
see.
like
We'll see.
good,
But I mean,
I don't know with the
they're
Dodgers. Sometimes you run into the Braves and you're down 3-1 and then you come back. But sometimes you run into the 2019 Nationals and they kick your ass.
right. But the Angels, they're about three pitchers away. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah, they're
No, they're
kind of,
like a solid 6 pitchers away. They have no
yeah,
bullpen and they have no rotation.
yeah, yeah.
Wasted
Three,
the best player of our
three,
generation.
three pitchers away, or three starters away, like three really good starters away, which is a lot. I'm not trying to say they're close. That's what I'm trying
They're
to say.
three average or better starters away, and they're three average or better, possibly to elite relievers away.
I feel like this list, they either are giving the team a championship who's like, it kind of makes sense, or they're just trying to be like cool and throw a random team in. It's like, oh yeah, Dodgers versus Yankees, like, that's kind of expected, especially this year. And then, later on they go Braves versus Blue Jays. It's like, come on, guys, you're just like having fun now. Like you're like, I mean, I get like, we're not supposed to take this list like super seriously, but yeah, some of the
I
stuff
think
is
the
just
most
kind of.
BS two random teams is 2028. They have Dodgers over Tigers, and I mean that just feels so random. Like the Tigers maybe appear in a few before that even, but the Dodgers in 2028, what does that even look like? They have
Some
Mookie.
of these matchups though they got going on are pretty interesting. So 2021 they got Dodgers versus Yankees. I mean, that would be a really cool World Series to see. Got two of the
I wouldn't
biggest
even watch it.
clubs. No, come on, John. You're like it's an L either way. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
really
that
is.
I mean that would be cool. You got two of the biggest clubs in baseball competing against each other. 2026 Mets versus Yankees. If that was a World Series, I might
That'd be
have to
fun to
fly to New
watch.
York. I might have to go to New York, guys. Like spend my whole life savings because that would just be historic. You're going back and forth between MetLife and Yankee Stadium, and
If
then
these podcasts blow up, we get the bag. We're going to next year's World Series, Neil. Me
oh
and you.
yeah, no, we'll go
Real
to a
fun.
World Series.
We're
Definitely.
gonna get the bag from YouTube.
Yeah, we got to. And then 2029, they got Athletics versus Giants. So you got the battle of the Bay Area essentially.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be fun. But yeah,
There's no
definitely.
merit to that. Like, what do the A's look like in 9 years?
Yeah, I mean, what does
Chapman, they
any
don't have
team look like
Wilson,
in 9 years? You don't know. It's
right?
all, it's all speculation, really. But I mean, hey, they do have the Padres winning it in 2024. Granted, we do lose to the White Sox in 2023, which is kind of a shame. But hey, we do come back and win it all in 2024. So, as long as I see the Padres win one in my lifetime, I mean, even if they don't, I guess, I'm not gonna, be upset. But it's
I
not.
think if the White Sox don't make or win a World Series by like 2024, their window's closed because they already have like aging guys. They don't really have that much of a farm system coming up. They're kind
Mhm.
of on funds as of right now. So if they don't make it happen within the next couple of years, as long as it took for their window to come up, like 15 years of rebuilding since they made their last World Series,
Right.
just get wiped away if they don't do anything.
But hey, at least they got one. 2005. Not many. That would be that's like a dream come true. But yeah,
Man, both my teams, Orioles and Tigers, they won their last World Series back in the early 80s. Orioles won in '83, Tigers won in '84. It's been a long time since I've been able to like excited.
Padres have never won it, so I mean, it's
It's
fun
true.
though. The last time they made it was the year I was born, '98. They got swept by one of the best Yankees teams ever. So, it is what it is. Who knows? Maybe they'll beat the Yankees in the World Series one day. Maybe they'll lose to the Yankees in the World Series one day. But I mean, even just seeing the Padres in the World Series, that means they beat the Dodgers. So that's that would
Yeah,
like if they beat the
that's gonna be a
Dodgers, I
tall
would be
task.
shocked. Yeah, I would be shocked. Just beating the Dodgers enough is yeah, that's good enough for me, I guess. But yeah, we'll see if that even happens. But
Who do you think
yeah.
is the face of the entire MLB in 2030? So Mike Trout's out of the question because Mike Trout's like 40 years old at this point. Probably he'd be close to that. But we mentioned Acuna, Soto, and Tatis earlier. Is there one of the other young chipper or blue chippers like Franco or maybe Mackenzie Gore as a pitcher? But
I don't think the pitcher could be the face of the league.
it's tough.
It's
It's real
really
tough.
tough. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, like that's not, I've seen this dude, he's not really someone. Yeah, even
Like
Tatis,
Kershaw has been the closest thing to the face of the league in the
right?
last
And that's prime, Dodgers, huge, yeah, exactly, huge
huge
fan
market.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you want. Yeah, I mean, so you said 2030?
In 10 years, who do you
Oh,
think?
10 years. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Soto, Tatis, they'll all be, they'll be like 32. So I mean, I don't know if they could, they could dominate for the next 10 years and just be that, in that conversation still. But
I do think it's one of those three guys. I don't think Franco as a shortstop is probably going to be enough of a. I don't know. I just don't know.
right.
He's 19 years old. We haven't seen that much. But
I'm
based on what we
actually
know, I think it's between those three guys.
so who is your go-to though?
Soto. I just like Soto.
Soto.
Acuna's he's really dynamic compared to the other two. I think he's more dynamic than uh, Tatis and Soto, but he could be like an easy 40 for 40 guy or 40-40 guy
Right.
for probably a majority of his career. But I do think Soto's the safer bet. Just his hitting numbers are insane, like never seen before in the league. Like Mickey Mantle numbers.
Yeah, he's really really good to say the least at hitting the ball. Yeah, and then we
22
said
years old.
defense, if he was a little bit better, he would be one of the best players in the league, no doubt. But yeah, I mean Acuna
He's
and
serviceable in
Tatis.
defense. He's just
Oh yeah,
not.
he's serviceable. He's not a guy you're talking about DHing.
Acuna's much better on
Right, and
defense.
Acuna can play center, and then obviously Tatis, he has an
He can
absolute
run the
cannon of an
bags.
arm, and he's yeah. But my answer, I'm gonna go with the Torkelson. I've kind of liked him.
Really?
Tigers, yeah. Would come in, maybe be the, I don't know if he's gonna play third or first or whatever. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
He'll probably end up at first.
yeah. But who knows? He could be Miguel Cabrera. Obviously big shoes to fill, but who knows? Maybe he'll get that kind of money from them, and if not, maybe from someone else.
They
But
say
yeah.
he's the most elite bat out of the recent draft classes. So
And I can see why for sure, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that answer. But
it's possible for sure. There's nothing really else coming up. Maybe Luis Robert.
right, and yeah, we've seen a little bit of him also. Like, but yeah, who else? I mean, Padres have some other guys I like, but yeah, they're so far away, so it doesn't even not even get into that. Like,
No idea still on a lot of those guys. Maybe Cespedes' little brother.
oh yeah, yeah, who signed him?
I think it was the White Sox.
Yeah, I think it was the White Sox.
Signing Cuban players. Now I need to.
Yeah,
It's the White Sox though.
I mean, hopefully he shows up. No shit. Cespedes just like
Their
said
names are
nah.
so similar. We have Yoelkis, Yoenis, and Yoelki.
Yoelki.
And the online picture for Yoelki and Yoelkis is the same picture. Unless they're the same guy. White Sox sign him, yes.
Yoelki. That's actually funny because I'm pretty sure White Sox got Tatis's younger brother also.
I didn't know
But,
Tatis had a younger brother.
yeah, he does. I'm gonna see Tatis. Yeah,
Today was
so
International Signing Day, so I don't know. I didn't really see too much information
yeah,
on it.
Elijah Tatis. Yeah, he's on the White Sox. And you know what's funny
What?
is, if you didn't know, the Padres got, Tatis from the White Sox.
Yeah, James
So
Shields trade.
yeah, that's it's kind of funny. Hopefully, the White Sox are trying to make up for their awful decision.
That's all that they've been doing. The owner was like, I missed out on signing Tony La Russa like 40 years ago, so I'm gonna make it right in
Which
2020.
is yeah, we should talk about that. Yeah, I didn't agree with that just because it's the game has changed so much. It's all analytics now, and we've seen um essentially the game is it's being controlled through a computer. These GMs, they're making the big bucks. They're the ones.
La Russa's not gonna take orders very easily.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw with the Rays. Obviously Kevin Cash, he probably didn't want to take out Blake Snell, but because well, third time through the lineup, OPS is through the roof. You got to take him out,
Uh,
and all these analytics. I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm definitely glad it happened. I'm not saying I'm against it, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see if he can handle the analytics and the all that, because the game has taken a huge shift. It's not all data, but you look at what the Dodgers have been doing. They've just been Yankees. They're just doing by a computer, honestly, and their
most teams
managers
are
are
these days.
puppets. Managers are puppets. We live in the puppet era of
I
managers.
just
So
think I don't think the La Russa signing is a negative thing yet. We'll see what happens with like if he can connect to the younger players, but I think there were certainly better options. Like not even like just because he's old. I don't think that makes him a bad option. He's just like with all the DUI stuff going around, it's like that's just bad optics, and your only reason for signing him is missed out on signing him 40 years ago as my manager, so I got to make it right in the height of my team's rebuild that we've been working 15 years for. I don't know. There were just better options, I think.
yeah, um, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's definitely gonna be interesting. But yeah, White Sox definitely got a young core, especially all their position players. But yeah, we'll see. Were there any other manager hirings? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much talk about that. I don't think teams are. I think most teams had their guy lined up already this year.
Right.
I think we've covered all the topics. I don't think there's any more signings to talk about. There's some minor stuff. I don't even have it written down. It was
Yeah, Tigers
pretty
got
irrelevant.
you know, Mr. Favorite AJ Hinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Into that.
hopefully we start cheating, like maybe we'll win some more games. Like, you're like, I want to hear some trash cans. Like, I mean, I'm
It's
surprised
cool that
he's
Robbie Grossman goes back to the Tigers when Hinch was his manager on the Astros,
that is true. I
the
didn't think about
champion
that.
Astros. The trash can Astros.
The asterisks as other
It sucks
fans.
that we didn't have fans for 2020 for Astros games because now I feel like everyone's kind of almost forgot about it. Like it's such a different team now. Springer's gone. Correa's gonna be gone. Altuve sucks now. He kind of got his thing already. Cole's gone. Keitel's gone. Just all these like
The
bigger.
thing is, they're still gonna like Springer. You're telling me if he goes to the Mets and he's like playing a game in Philadelphia, you're telling me Philly fans aren't gonna be yelling at him like oh
I feel
you
like you'll have your usual amount of heckling that people get,
no, they're
like the
gonna
outfield
these
bleachers,
guys,
but
they remember everything. Trust me, they're gonna hear it no matter where they go. I don't want to say their whole career, but they don't have to be on the Astros per se. I'm sure Correa and Springer and
Correa deserves many a boo.
yeah, Correa, he's not I don't think he's seen too brightly in the public eye right now. I mean, I doubt
He'll
he
get
cares,
he'll
but
get booed for sure. I think every time he steps to the plate, but guys like Jordan Alvarez and like the majority of the Astros squad is not going to get booed every time they come up.
right, right.
I just
And
hope
then
that fans, for the most part, haven't forgotten and still bring the heat that they did in spring training last year. That was so fun to watch, man.
yeah, that
Altuve
was.
getting bean. Oh, we forgot about Bregman. He's still there. He deserves to get
Oh
booed.
yeah, Brad. Yeah, how do we forget about Bregman? Yeah, he's been. Yeah,
The best third baseman in baseball. I forget about him.
is he? You got him
He's
over
arguable. There's a case
Arenado.
for him. Arenado, Chapman, Rendon, Bregman. Top four. That's an insane top four.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a loaded position, but
If you don't have anything else, I think we can probably end this one.
all right, sounds good. Well,
Hopefully, we have a big signing here in the next couple days. I can't be mad at the off season right now because that was a lot of action for just like 3 days. Lots. Of
right.
action. Hopefully, the market's set for a few different positions, and these signings will just come in waves, like you said. When it rains, it pours.
Hopefully. All right. Well, it was great. I'm glad we did it. So, all right. See you guys
And see
later.
you guys on, I don't know, probably next week, late next week, unless there's a big signing. So.
All right. See you.